Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for the next day of, sorry, I'm just moving my stuff because I know Charlie's about to jump. Right, okay, so hi everyone, thanks for joining me today for our weekly giveaway, and it's Ask Me a Question. So we have lots of questions to ask and more goodies to add to the pack. So for those of you who haven't been following, you can still join in. There are going to be 5 prizes this time, and so far you've all got some dies and some vintage stamps, some flowers and some large paper clips. Now today, let me show you, we have let's have a look how many questions we have. Oh, I've lost my bit of paper. That was yesterday's questions. What have I done with today's questions? Right, there's there. Oh my gosh, I am in such a pickle. Right, okay, they are yesterday's questions. They need to go over there. Right, we have 16 questions, I think, today to get through. I am loving your questions. So let me show you what I'm going to add to these goodies. You have a real treat today because I am adding some old ephemera, proper vintage ephemera to these packs. So you're all going to get a double page of vintage ledger paper. It will have to be folded in half for postage because they are very big. So you've all got a sheet of those, and these are like from the 60s, 1960. So you've all got a page of those. You're all going to have an old pattern book, so pull out some pages with some lovely old adverts. So you're all going to get a page of that. So we have 5 pages of those. I have 5 old postcards. Some have got writing on, or one's got writing on, and that is 1952. So you've all got one of those. I have some old book pages which are really discoloured, so I'm going to divvy them out between the two of you. I am going to also add some old, they're like adverts, so you've all got one of those each as well. So there's 5 of those going in, and they are proper vintage ephemera that I purchased. As you can see, I've paid for all these individually, like 250, 250, 250. But anyway, they're all going in there, so you've got a lovely stack of vintage ephemera going in there because you asking the most amazing questions, and Charlie's here joining us again today as normal. So let's get on with the questions because I know that my battery has not got much juice in it on my phone. So Anne Aubrey asked, if you could live in another time in history, what would it be? I would like to go back to the Victorian era. Why, I do not know, but I've always had this thing for the Victorian era. I love the costumes. I just love it, but I just wouldn't want to be poor in that time, if you know what I mean. Don't know how I would handle it without hair straighteners and other sort of things that we now call necessities. I do not know, but it would definitely be Victorian time because I just love the way that men were very chivalrous, and I just love the way they used to speak to each other. It's so romantic. I'm just an old romantic person, and I just love the way that you would be courted, and oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I like lots of different things about that era. So would definitely like to go back, maybe just for a day or two and see what it was like. So thank you for that question, Anne. And then the next question is from Pinky Noble. Hi Pinky, and what are your good memories with your school when you were studying? Okay, well, as you know, I'm very honest with everybody because, you know, I just think of you as my friends, and I think, well, there's no point, you know, sort of making up stories and what have you. I'm very honest in everything. I didn't have a very good childhood, and going through school and everything was very difficult. I was bullied as a child, and didn't, you know, I did college, but that was it. And I had to put myself through college as I left home very early. I can't really, and I'm being honest with you, I can't think of good memories as a kid. I liked school trips, you know, getting out of the school, but I really didn't like school. I had a really rough time. You know, I lost my adopted father when I was 9, and that really was very hard. I was then put into foster care. It's a long story, but childhood for me and school was not very good. So I'm going to be honest, I don't really have, you know, you ask me questions and I think, you know, straight away, what do you think? What is the answer? I can't actually honestly say to you good memories of being at school and studying. I went to school because I had to. I put myself through college because I had to. So yeah, that's the answer to that one. Thank you, Pinky, for that question. And number 3, Coastal Crafts. If your Charlie could talk, what accent would he have? Now, this is quite funny because I've actually had this conversation before with people. And I have King Louie, who's a big ginger fluffy cat. And I always said that if he could talk, he would sound like, oh my goodness me, it's just gone completely. Leslie Phillips from Carry On. Oh, you know, very posh and you know, ding dong, oh ding dong. Bing, he looks like a waiter or a butler, so I think he'd be very posh too. He'd be Mr. Jeeves. Now, Charlie Asbo is, yes, he's trouble. And I think what would be really fitting for him would to have a Cockney accent. Now, for those of you who don't really know a lot of Cockney, I have made up, well, not made up, I have written down in Cockney slang, and I'm going to read it out to you, what my day was like today, okay? I can't really do the Cockney accent, but sometimes Charmin says to me, you're a posh Cockney, Channelle, and sometimes I'm like, all right, you know what I mean, you're all right. So I think Charles would talk like that. I'm going to try and do a Cockney accent, but it's probably not going to be very good. Right, so this is what happened today. So I woke up this morning and I did my chores. I looked out of the window and I saw the currant bun shining down. So I thought I'd get my jam jar and get out of the house and do some shopping. I needed to get some new city slickers for my honeymoon. So I did a bit of shopping, walked around for a while. My dog's meat, they were killing me. So I stopped for a coffee. I was Hank Marvin, but I didn't eat anything as I'm needing to lose weight. I sat for a while in the currant bun and I'm sure I burnt my fireman's hose. So I got back in my jam jar and I drove down the Frog and Toad and went home. I decided to make a Ruby Murray for mine and Charmin's tea, and I thought I'd better look after him well as I'm soon to be his cheese and kisses. After tea, we went up the apples and pears and to settle and watch the custard and jelly for a while before bed, the end. So for those of you, I will translate it. So I woke up this morning and I did my chores. I looked out of the window and I saw the sun, not the currant bun, shining down. So I thought I'd get in my jam jar car and get out of the house and do some shopping. I needed to get some city slickers, knickers, for me honeymoon, of course, out. So I did a bit of shopping, walked around for a while. My dog's feet were killing me, so I stopped for a coffee. I was Hank Marvin, starving, but I didn't eat anything as I'm needing to lose weight. I sat for a while in the currant bun. Son, you with me now? And I'm sure I burnt me fireman's nose. I got back in my jam jar car and drove down the Frog and Toad road and went home. I decided to make a Ruby Murray curry for mine and Charmin's tea. I thought I'd better look after him well as I'm soon to be his cheese and kisses, Mrs. After tea, we went up the apples and pears. I hope you're listening, Charles, because you need to learn this. Stairs to settle and watch the custard and jelly telly for a while before bed. The end. So, yes, I think this little monkey, he would definitely be Cockney. I really hope you enjoyed that. Right. Great question. Right, number 4, Star Dove. My birthday is May the 21st. So happy birthday, my darling. Your birthday is coming up. And I was wondering when your birthday is. And hi to my new subby. You are my new subby and any other new subbies. My birthday is January the 9th, which makes me a Capricorn. Now, if you're May the 21st, you would be... Are you a Gemini? I think. So, yeah, that is that one. Okay, so Debbie L, just wondering if you are both writing your own vows to share with each other for your wedding. They are a work in progress. We are writing our own vows. So yes, is to the answer to that one. But Charming's a bit nervous. He's a bit worried he's going to mess up or something. So I said, well, you've got to say something, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? So yes, we're working on them. Right, number 6, Sue Harvey. Do you and your hubby ever craft together, or is there something you both like to do? I wouldn't say we really crafted together, not on a regular basis, but there are times that I've asked for his input or help with something or what opinion he has. So we don't really craft together, but he does help me sometimes with projects. We like to go to car boots. We like to go to not charity shops, more I do. I like charity shops, but he likes to go to like vintage shops and things like that, and car boots, and yeah, so that's one of our hobbies. We just like to get out and about really, and go out for meals and things. So number 7, Julie Olivia's Crafts and More. I think you are a new subby as well, Julie, so hello. Other than crafting, what other hobbies do you like to wish to start? So I think probably that last question answered that one. We like to go to car boots and try and pick up bargains, and I love vintage things. We like to look out for vintage things. We like to go to vintage shops and that really. So as far as starting new hobbies, not sure. Probably, I tell you what I would like to do more. Go to the ballet or go to the theatre more. Things like that. I think that's something that we should do more of. Right. Number 8, Joanne Sanderson. Yes, Joanne. If you joined the circus, what would your act be? Right, okay, so the trapeze is out because I'm scared of heights. The tightrope is out because I just have no balance whatsoever. I think I would be a clown. Now, why would I be a clown? One, I love to make people laugh. I think I'm told that I am naturally funny. Now, sometimes I'm not actually trying to be funny. I think I just have calamities and that makes me funny. So I would definitely be a clown. I think that would just come so natural to me. So, yes, a clown. So thank you, Joanne. Number 9, Christine Mortimer. When you go out to dinner, as in posh, what would you eat? A juicy steak, salmon or fish, a chicken dish or pasta? Steak every time. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's a steak. I love, love, love steak. And we kind of go on this mission when we go out for meals to find the best steak that we can find. And we had this great restaurant, and it changed hands, and oh my goodness me, the food there now is not very good. So we are on the hunt for somewhere that can do a mean steak. Yes, so thank you, Christine, for that one. And Seri, are you staying in Greece for your honeymoon? Yes, we are. We're doing 1 week at one hotel, purely because the hotel that we stayed at last year doesn't have rooms big enough for my daughter and her children. They wanted to put them in 2 rooms, which they're too young. So we're actually staying at one hotel. We're having our wedding ceremony at this venue, which is away from the hotel, and then we're having our reception at the hotel, and then the second week we're going back to the hotel, the Atrium Platinum that we went to last year. So yes, we will be in Greece. So thank you, Sari. Number 11, Thorid Stevenson. Do you prefer lager or wine? I do not like lager. No, it's disgusting. Puts hairs on your chest, which you do not want. I like Prosecco, and I do like a sparkling sweet wine. So yes, I do not like lager. I don't like it. I've tried it. Don't like it. Yuck, yuck. So thank you, Thorold, for that. Number 12, Judith McPherson. If you got the chance to be a queen for the day, which queen would you like to be? Now, some of you will know the answer to this, Queen Victoria, because I love her. I just love her story. I just think she was an amazing woman. I love the Victorian era. So it would definitely be Queen Victoria. Yes. And I love the love story as well, with Prince Albert. So thank you, Judith. Number 13, Crafty Mama. I'm of Italian German descent. What's in your ancestry? Sorry. Well, actually, quite interestingly enough, up till Christmas, I didn't know any of my ancestry, but I did my ancestry DNA because I didn't know who my father was, and I was adopted, so a bit of a long story, but I did find out through that I'm of European descent. So yes, European. So I think there's some German in there and some Dutch, and yeah, I thought I might have Irish in me. Irish. Quite good at me accents, aren't I? But actually I'm of European, so maybe I was Russian. Oh, actually I think there was some Russian in there. Do Svidaniya. Right, okay, not very good at either of those. Right, okay, so yes, so thank you, Crafty Mama. Right, number 14, Christine's Cards and Things. Which town did you go to school in? I was brought up in a town called Bedford, in Bedfordshire, and that's in the UK. So that is the town that I was brought up in and went to school in. My first school, was that the question? Yeah, first school. Which town did you go to school in? Bedford. Bedford. So thank you, Christine, for that question. Number 15, Mrs. Stationery Stuff. If you were a Disney character, who would you be? I'd be Cinderella. No, I didn't swear then. Frickin'. I said frickin' Cinderella. I would love to be Cinderella. And my Prince Charming has definitely arrived. Yes. Cinderella. She had a happy ever after. And I would have a fairy godmother as well, wouldn't I? And Charles could chase the little mice. So I'd be Cinderella. And she's blonde. So thank you for that question. Number 16, Jessie back. Right, okay. Now Jessie has asked because she has one boy and 3 lady cats, and she's thinking of getting another one. So she asked if my boys get on, and which she would think would be a good idea to get a boy or a lady cat. All my boys do get on really well. They do have little tiffs from now and then, but not very often. I have had a female cat, and I did have Poppy, if you remember Poppy, but I had to have her rehome because she got vicious, and she really disrupted the happy home, and we fostered her for a while. And I just think that females are very temperamental, so I would definitely say a little boy, because I did have another female cat. Unfortunately, she passed away, Libby. We used to call her the Terminator cat because she used to thud around the house going poof, 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 poof. And you'd hear her when she jumped off the wardrobe and things. And she just ruled the roost, and she was a bit catty at times. So I would definitely say another little boy. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your Misty. I lost a cat, Gabriel, a couple of years ago, and it does hurt, but they'll always be around you, my darling. So thank you, Jessie, for that question. So those are the questions for today. I hope you've enjoyed the answers, and we're going to go again. So ask your questions. Don't forget to leave your question below, and I'll be back tomorrow to add some more goodies to the pile. Thank you so much for your questions, everybody. We just love it. I hope you've learnt some Cockney slang, but don't ever eat jelly deals. You know what I mean? They're horrible. They are horrible. Aren't they, Charles? Yes, they are. He's my little bother boy, aren't you? Oh, gosh. I'm going now. I think I'm losing the plot. Anyway, too much coffee. Too much coffee, Charles. I shall see you all tomorrow. Take care for now. Love you guys. Bye-bye.